So they say that when you pack for a trip, you pack your fears. And I have a lot of them. And so this is where I come with the be brave moment. As you will come to find out, that is one of my life's mottos. I actually got that while I was dealing with cancer, as I was doing a bone marrow biopsy. It is one of the most painful processes that I went through during cancer treatment. The nurse was so kind to me. She gently held my hands and she whispered to me to be brave. And ever since that moment, I could do nothing but be brave. And so this is my be brave to go on this adventure with my daughter. Because we do have to acknowledge our fears, whether they're rational or irrational. My husband once upon a time told me, again, while I was dealing with cancer, and we had a come to Jesus type moment where I didn't want to put up Christmas, because if I put up Christmas, I would never have a last Christmas. And so I had to face some very irrational fears, because my cancer was very capable of being put in remission. And so thankfully it was put in remission just a few short months after that conversation with my husband. But it has taught me to face some very irrational and rational fears. And I pick 5. I've only picked 5 that I'm going to be packing on this trip. I'm sure I have more than that, but the 5 that I'm going to take with me on this trip is, the first one is communication with my husband and family back home. We have had many conversations, my husband and I, and how he doesn't want me to go on the trip, but he does want me to go on the trip. And he doesn't want to stop me from going on the trip, but he will miss me and I will miss him. We've been married for 32 years. It'll be 33 years while we are on the trip. And so I'll miss him. So I'm going to take this and my phone, and together I'll be able to communicate with what we're calling mission control, my husband back home. And with my family. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing the YouTube channel with my daughter, because otherwise I just let her do it, because this face isn't made for television. No, yours is much more pretty than mine. Mine's a little gritty, remember? Yeah. But anyway, so therefore I really need to be able to communicate at home and to my brothers, whom I love. Number 2 is cold. I hate being cold, and yet I live in Washington, go figure, right? So I will be taking warm clothes, probably, well, I think we're taking about the same warm clothes, but I think I'm taking a bag liner, even in the desert, just in case it's cold at night. This is my little bag warmer. And I also got, I had a very warm sleeping bag, but then when REI had a sale, I went and purchased an even warmer one. I can always take things off, but I can't, but once you put on, I mean, there's only a limit that you can carry. So I am going to take a bag liner from my very warm sleeping bag. I think it goes to -5. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, Jesse will correct it on the editing. And I'm taking base layers. And it might be with an S. I don't know. But I am going to take my nice warm puffy. In fact, I keep buying new puffies so I can find the right one that will keep me nice and warm, but not add too much weight in my pack, because that is a problem. And I already have too much weight because, let's just be honest, I'm the mom. So therefore, I take extra stuff that she won't take. That's not my fear, but I am the mom. My next one that I have a great fear of is water. And I have 2 fears that go along with this. One, going without water. I grew up in a drier part of the state than I live in now. And so I was always thirsty, kind of, if you get my drift. And we didn't carry water bottles around. We just drank in water fountains growing up. I'm that old. But anyways, I am very, very fearful of running out of water, especially in the desert section and some of those long hauls in Oregon. I'm a little worried about running out of water to drink. So I will carry probably extra water, because also I'm the mom and I don't want her to run out of water either. And here is a irrational fear, but it is a very big fear to me, and that's water crossings. as a young girl, I did not learn how to swim. I learned how to swim as an adult. I actually took adult swimming lessons so that I could save myself and my children in water. I've actually made sure that all of my children know how to swim, and water crossings scare me to death. In fact, if I were not to pull out of this, it would be because of the water crossings. That is the one thing that scares me even more than bears.
It is kind of funny. Every time we go on hikes, and there's even like a little stream.
Water crossing one.
Take extra time, even if it's like a trickle, like it's like just a little thing, like somebody tipped over a water bottle. She has to slow down.
I do.
And check her steps.
And I count every water crossing. Every water crossing. How many water crossings? I do. Okay, and the next one, I know. The next one is fear of losing my daughter. She does technically hike a little faster than I do. And therefore, she's going to carry her own Garmin. I bought her own Garmin so that we can be in communications with each other, because I don't want to lose her. Just don't want to lose her. And then last but not least, I have a great big fear of losing my sight. So I will be taking the contacts that I'm wearing in my eyes, a set of contacts stuffed somewhere in my backpack for just in case, and a pair of glasses, because I actually had an accident with my eyesight earlier this year, and I actually was blind for a couple days, and that scares me to death. And if I cannot see, I can't walk out. It literally is something that I will have to crawl out, because I will have to use my hands to see, because I am that blind. I can't see. So once my contacts are out, or I don't have glasses on, I literally can only see about 12 inches in front of my face. Everything else is all a big blur, and it really is quite fearful. And that is one of my fears, rational or irrational. I would have to hit an SOS button for somebody to come save me, because I just couldn't get out, and I'd be afraid. The one other fear that I do have that's not on here, that is completely irrational, is the fear of falling. I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm afraid of falling. And that one, I don't know how to pack my fears for that one. So there's nothing I can pack for that. I just have to be brave.
So when she brought up these fears to me and like talked about asked me what my fears are, I thought about it, and I haven't had too much thought into it. I've been really busy with work, but I realized I don't think I have many fears. Like, most of the fears I have excite me more than scare me, and so I don't really consider them fears. I think one of the main ones is that we're gonna go on trail and we're just gonna have a miserable time. We're gonna hate each other, and we're just gonna like drive a wedge in between us. But we've gone through so much together, I don't think that is rational. Like, I don't think there's anything that would cause us to hate each other at this point. And so it's more of a irrational fear. And I remember I listened to a lot of podcasts at work, and I listened to a backpacker radio episode where they had someone on the trail who was communicating back to them, and he had mentioned that if you ever question whether or not you want to be on trail, or if this really is the right thing for you, what you have to remember is, when you think of, he used Katahdin because he was on the Appalachian Trail, but for me it's the Canadian border, that monument. If you think about that, or just the times on the trail that you're most excited for, and you get emotional, or if you just can't wait to be on trail, then even through the hard times on trail, you'll gain something from it, and you're doing the right thing. And when he had mentioned that, I thought about it, and I'm like, do I really want to do this? Because it's scary, and the more I think about it, the more I want to go, and I can't wait to be on the trail. So even though I'm scared of not having a good time, I know that it'll be a great experience, I guess another fear that I have is possibly ending up doing this alone. Like, I've never told her this, but I'm terrified of her not being able to finish. And not that you're not
news to me.
Not that you're not capable, but I'm worried that you are going to miss Dad so much, or your 2 granddaughters, or your 5 other kids. Like, I'm only 1. So I'm terrified of something happening and pulling her off trail, but me wanting to stay, because I know whether or not I do this with her, I'm going to do this. And that kind of terrifies me of doing it alone. But at the same time,
Be brave.
like, yeah, just be brave. And I know eventually I want to do a through hike by myself. So if it ends up being this one, it ends up being this one. But I really do hope you stick with me the whole way. This is kind of an adventure I started dreaming of and roped her into. And I really want her to do this with me. So I guess those aren't 5 fears, but they're my 2 main ones. I don't know if I have any others besides the same height thing, although mine's a little drastic.
Yeah, she's a little more afraid of heights. Although, when we went hiking that one time on, was that Change Creek? You went on that, oh man.
Yeah,
Remember
I
that?
don't know. It's like my fear of heights is kind of sporadic. Some things scare me, some things excite me, and I never know
You're crazy.
which is going to do which. So
That's all I can
like
say.
the knife's edge part of the PCT, that kind of makes me excited.
I'm glad it makes you excited.
Even though I can't even go over Deception Pass Bridge.
I've
I
run
can't
over
even
it a couple
I
times.
can't even walk over it, like. So maybe it's just the man-made structure. I think it's gonna like break,
I'm
or like
afraid
not having
so.
anything underneath it. Whereas like on a trail, like the rock's been there for years. It's not gonna break. Like, and there's
Landslides.
Don't talk about those. I just keep me ignorant about that.
Okay, I'll keep you ignorant.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else really that means I need a pack for.
Well, I've got my fears.
Hitchhikers.
Oh,
Hitchhiking.
hitchhiking. Yeah, I'm a little
That
nervous of
scares
that,
me.
but we're doing it together, so I'm not so
Yeah.
afraid.
Well, I mean, if I'm doing it by myself, that scares me. But yeah, I have her with me.
That's okay.
Neck knife. Can you get it out?
I have a neck knife.
Wait, size-wise, like that's how. Like 3
Little,
fingers.
but it is very good. Very, very, very sharp. Very
It
good.
is. It is.
That's another one of
And
our fears.
we're not using it just for that purpose.
Oh no. You know what? It opens up packages very well.
And it cuts cheese.
Yes. Cheese. But anyways, those are our fears that we're going to be packing in our pack, whether they are physical or whether they are emotional or whether they're irrational. Those are our fears, but we are going to be brave, just like that nurse told me while I was having my bone dissected, if you will. So we're going to be brave and we're going to conquer these fears. If it means we pack an extra pair of contacts or an extra water bottle, I'm carrying 3. That's what we do. And we will move forward until they are no longer our fear. And who knows how many water bottles I will end with. The Garmin's going to stay with me though. That one's not going. And who knows? Maybe I send my bag liner home. I don't know. But I do know that we're going to be brave. And we'll see you on the trails. Bye.